What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geek XP. I'm Carson, and I've got Marley here with us.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And I just wanted to talk about the Super NES Classic, which came out for pre-orders in mass supply today. And just really quick, I just wanted to make a video about this real quick because it was nuts.
Nintendo's definition of mass supply.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have a feeling like Nintendo, gives them the green light, and then all these retailers are like, "Oh my gosh, what do I do?" And they all have their version of trying to figure out what to do. And I just like to jump in right into the story of it. So I wake up in the morning. Apparently, when I wake up, I get my little email from Amazon. No, I actually didn't get an email from Amazon, which is what I'm pissed about.
I didn't get an email either.
Right, and I will get into that. So what happened was I wake up and I checked, I think it was Facebook or Twitter, and I saw somebody talking about the Super NES Classic. I was like, crap, did I miss it? And apparently it went up on Amazon at 5 a.m. Eastern time, I think. And of course I was asleep, and you were asleep too, right?
I woke up half an hour later to get to work.
So, great start to the day, right? It was oh
Yeah.
Man, I've been waiting for this, been on just waiting for it to drop. And I missed it. I'm like, crap. I'm super pissed because Amazon did something a little weird this time around. So normally you can set notifications for emails when...
Like we did.
Yeah, like we did. That lets you know when the product becomes available. And I'm going to read you guys off what they changed the listing to, which threw off everybody. So everyone that had email notifications didn't get one because they changed the listing. And I'm going to read it off to everybody what it was. It's called the Nintendo Digital Download / Game Trust Entertainment System Super NES Classic Edition is what the new listing was for.
They also didn't have a picture of it up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you just saw this weird, mysterious Amazon listing for that weird 1984 robot name you just read.
I just feel like some of these retailers are just flying by the seat of their pants with this kind of thing. It's crazy. But yeah, so they put that listing up there, and I'm like, well, I missed out on that because all the insiders and stuff were already on top of that and sharing it on social media and stuff. And that had been going on for 3 hours until I woke up. So I totally missed out. All right, so I thought I was done. I wasn't going to get one.
Same here.
All right, so fast forward to around 1:30 in the afternoon. Yep. I get a text from you, and Nate got a text as well from you too, and you're like, guys, I just went to GameStop and they have the SNES Classic editions.
Yep, in-store only pre-orders.
And I was like, what? I hope finally was within me again. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I have a chance. Nate immediately left work. I immediately left work. And my boss was actually out on vacation, so there really wasn't any chance I was going to get in trouble.
Nice.
So we both left work, and Nate got to his first, and he got one with no problem at all. He might have been the first person to get one at his GameStop.
Uh-huh.
And I got to mine. I'm sweating bullets because it took me about 15 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that a bunch of people didn't just swarm that place and get it. So I walk in there and immediately ask the guy who's helping a customer, and he's like, dude, there's one left. And I was pretty calm, but inside I was freaking out. I was like, I freaking got one. Yes.
Yeah. So same thing. I woke up this morning at 5:30 in the morning to see a Nintendo Facebook group I'm in all freaking out about it going up.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of my email notifications. I figured I was done for. And I got some, I guess we'll say insider information that GameStop was going to be making a special announcement, but they weren't saying what it was. It was very easy to connect the dots.
Yep.
And I work in Manhattan, and I also work 2 minutes away from a GameStop. So me and some coworkers went over right at 1:30.
Yep.
I go up to the front desk and I ask the guy, "Hey, can I reserve my SNES Classic?" He tells me no.
Oh shoot.
So I'm super lucky his manager was in the register next to him. He was like bent down, like looking at something. His manager looks at him and goes, and right as I'm getting ready to walk away, goes, "No, it's up. It's live now. Get him in before the system crashes."
Oh yeah, it's hilarious, right?
So I get in there, and me and all my coworkers managed to get one. Like we were super lucky.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Because yeah, you sent us a little screenshot of their website, which is just like was down, right? Like
Yeah,
flooded.
the whole website just flooded.
I can't imagine how many people were just trying to get one like really quick, just like that. And it was only in store though, right?
Yeah, it was in-store pre-order, so that was just people on the website just
Trying
kind of hoping for the
yeah,
best.
yeah, yeah. And when I went into that store and I was in the middle of ordering it, there a flood of phone calls was started coming in. Like the guy was on the phone and stuff like that. Another person walked in behind me that I think was trying to like get one. And yeah, I barely got it. I'm so
I got
happy.
the first one at our store, and I
Yeah.
guess, I mean, I'm hearing horror stories about like stores only getting 5,
Yeah.
some only getting 3. I know our store in Manhattan, I don't know how many they got specifically,
Mm-hmm.
but me and 3 of my coworkers got one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were 4 other people that were also still online. So that store had at least enough for 8 people.
Gotcha. Wow.
But who do we blame here? Do we blame Nintendo or do we blame these retailers?
Well, it's the old story of like supply probably was never going to be enough, right? Like I know they made more than the NES Classic. They definitely made more for this one, but more still wasn't enough, I don't think, cuz just tons of people want this thing. Like there's a huge nostalgia factor to it. I would argue
there's
that
awesome games.
Yeah, I would argue that the SNES is literally like one of their most recognizable systems.
Yeah.
Like that's when video games really started hitting its stride, I'm pretty sure. Like the 16-bit era. And yeah.
I mean, I think Nintendo is definitely to blame on the supply end. There's no denying that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, once Nintendo hands over the stock to the retailers, I feel like it's on them at that point. Like, why put it up at like 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
When people are gonna be asleep.
It's really strange to me. Like, gosh, it's hard to figure it out.
Yeah, and then Amazon not putting a limit on how many people could buy.
I know that really bugs me because scalpers and bots and stuff like that can just mass order those things and then the stock's all gone. It really sucks.
A guy in one of the groups I'm in bought 13.
Oh my goodness. 13.
He bought 13 and he's gonna flip all of them.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane.
I don't understand why Amazon does not limit it. That wouldn't be that hard to do.
And you think they would have learned their lesson after Amiibo, because that happened with the first couple waves of Amiibo, and then they finally were like, okay, you can only buy 1 per person.
Right. I wonder if Amazon has some sort of policy for that kind of stuff. Like if in their history, have they ever limited quantity that a person could buy?
Yeah, well, like I said, they did it for Amiibo.
Oh, they did do it for Amiibo. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
they did it for Amiibo, and I'm pretty sure they did it for the NES Classic the first time around.
What the heck, man? So I mean, you also mentioned that they didn't even have an image up for it. So it sounds to me like they just weren't even ready. And the quantity thing just kind of slipped through the cracks. I'm wondering, you know?
Yeah, that's just something they forgot to do.
Yeah, again, I don't know how they work things out and stuff and how they set all this stuff up, but you would think if they had enough time, they would have this page all ready to go with all the specifications and what comes with it and an image of what it looks like and stuff like that. And then randomly too, they decide to change the product page and the name.
Yeah.
which is the craziest thing to me, is like they would just go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So, do you believe Nintendo when they say there's gonna be more supply for this thing? Like, they said they're gonna make enough for the rest of the calendar year, which is not a long time.
No.
Do we think everybody that wants one is gonna get one?
No, I don't think so.
No, I mean, yeah, it's sad to say, and then maybe I'm a little more like, haha, since I do have one.
Yeah.
But it does suck. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to be able to get their hands on this without paying a scalper price.
Yeah, there's going to be more than the NES Classic, but there's still not going to be enough, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's so many people that want this thing because it's really, like, it is a collector's item, honestly. Like,
yeah.
There's probably going to be people that won't even bring it out of the box. They'll just leave it in the box, and that's, like, cha-ching, man. Like, who knows? Like, later on down the line, you know, this thing, if it's a limited supply, that could be worth something someday.
And you know, it's gonna bug me. They're gonna do an N64 Classic.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have an incomplete set because I don't have an NES Mini.
Yeah. That N64.
And you know me, I love collecting my stuff.
That N64 Classic one will be just as hot as these other two. Oh man. But
so. I mean, I guess kind of wrap it up on a more positive note, what game are you the most excited about?
Okay, yeah, I was actually just going to ask the same thing. That's a great question. So, obviously, the bonus of having Star Fox 2 in there is really cool.
Yep.
But that is not the game that I'm most looking forward to. I believe it's Final Fantasy 4, I think. Or
is it 4 or 3? I think it's 3.
Oh gosh, Castlevania 3's in it. I know, but I can't remember which one it was for Final Fantasy. Maybe it was 3 or 4.
Okay.
But I've never played an old Final Fantasy game before, and I've really just been looking forward to playing it on something like this with the original controller and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked to play one of those old games and see what it's like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about you?
For me, I'm tempted to say Link to the Past, but like Link to the Past is available to play in so many other places. Yeah. I know you and Nate have some feelings about A Link to the Past. They're the wrong.
Yeah, quick plug. We are doing a live stream of Link to the Past right now. We're almost done. We got to Ganon's Tower, and boy, those last 3 dungeons, they were a doozy. All right, continue.
I love that game. I know you two might feel differently.
I loved it up until those 3 dungeons, man. I was like, this is really cool. And then those dungeons were like, oh my god.
Actually, I remember getting very angry as a child towards the end of the game, too. So, I think I just looked back on it funner. Anyway, yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. So, A Link to the Past, just because I've played it on my Game Boy Advance, I've played it on my Wii U, but like getting to play it the way it was originally played. Yeah. And then Mega Man X.
Oh yeah, that's on there.
For much of the same reasons. I've played it on my Game Boy Advance, but like I'm excited to play it kind of the original way it was meant to be played. Yeah. And then obviously I'm excited about Star Fox 2, but then Earthbound, a game I've always wanted to play.
Oh man, that's true, man. I forgot about Earthbound. There's a lot of little games on here that I've never even thought about playing, but now that I'm getting this thing and I've spent the money, like, I'm going to try these games out. Like, Castlevania is another franchise I haven't touched. And that's, like, lauded as, like, one of the best, you know, side-scrollers ever, you know? Like, those games.
It's gonna be a lot of retro streaming on the channel for us.
Yeah, like, I'm guessing our capture card can do that as long as it has an HDMI
and port. It uses an HDMI port.
Yeah. Yeah, oh man, totally. I would love to do that. Absolutely.
It's going to be awesome. Comes with 2 controllers.
Yep. And I think the cord is a little longer too this time.
5 feet instead of 3.
Yeah, which 5 feet still isn't that long. But yeah, guys, so you can definitely look forward to hopefully getting a bunch of coverage for the SNES Classic Edition in the future. And that comes out in September, right, Marley?
Yeah, I want to say September 21st. Do we have a firm date yet? I could be making that up.
I heard September before.
Okay.
And I remember thinking it was kind of ridiculous that they were putting up pre-orders like right at the end of August if it was coming out in September.
Yeah.
But I think it's in September, near the end of September. So yeah, we would love to do some coverage of that on the channel, guys. If you have any games in particular that you would like to see us play on the SNES Classic, we'll do it.
We'll put up a poll or something.
Yeah, a poll would be really cool. Absolutely. But yeah, any closing thoughts real quick, Marley, on this whole debacle?
I mean, I'm happy I got one, but I'm trying not let my happiness excuse the fact that Nintendo made this a lot harder than it needed to be for other people.
Yeah.
And I want them to do better. They probably won't, but I want them to.
Yeah. I can't help but think back to when I felt a little burnt by not getting the NES Classic. And I imagine a lot of people are feeling that right now with the Super NES Classic. So I'm sorry about that, guys. You still might have a chance if you stay on your toes for some in-store stuff in the future. They'll probably get more product out there into stores again before the release. Oh, well, on the release date, I'm sure they'll have more in there. That's what I meant to say.
So, quick thing. I don't know when this is going up. We're recording this on the 22nd.
Yes.
Tomorrow on the 23rd. Toys R Us is doing in-store pre-orders or in-store reservations only. You can't pre-order it.
So tomorrow.
So yeah, tomorrow.
Wow. Okay. Well, if anyone stuck around long enough in this video, I'm gonna try and get this up on the 22nd tonight. So if anybody is hearing this now, man, stay on your toes on Toys R Us tomorrow.
Yep. Stay on them. Target has been putting them up here and there.
Yeah, so I would just follow a bunch of these retailers somehow, and keep your eyes open for some SNES Classic consoles. But yeah, that's all I got for today for the SNES Classic. I hope you guys can get one. Try your best to get one because these games are really awesome. Thank you, Marley, for talking to me about this and stuff like that.
No problem.
It's always a good time. And with that, everybody, we'll see you at another video.